Everybody, welcome to another episode of the Locked In Sports Podcast. I'm William Locke, and joining me this week, as always, is Luis Barranco. Luis, how you doing?
Wild times. Happy July. As of if you're listening to this, are we dropping this tonight or tomorrow?
Well, we are live, but the podcast version will be dropped tonight. So, but it could be July by that time.
Happy July. Wild times. It's getting hot outside. Nelly hot in here type shit. It's getting really hot. What else? Baseball season. All-Star games in 2 weeks, and some teams are slowly shitting the bed, and some teams are rising to expectations.
Yeah, it's been an interesting week as a Yankee fan. Obviously, we'll get to that later in the pod. We have a fun one, our annual All-Star game ballot.
I thought it, when it got hot, I thought, when the weather gets hot, I thought the bats should pick up. It's kind of like one day on, one day off for the Yankees. One day they'll be putting up 20, and then the next day it's 2 runs.
Yeah, they put up 16 on Friday against the Blue Jays, and then put up a lot today as well. But that is for later. This is the All-Star game ballot podcast. We do this every year. We pick pretty simple 20 position players, 12 pitchers for each team. Obviously, the All-Star game, like we said, is in a couple weeks. It's on, I believe, and I should know this. Yeah, it's on the 16th of July, so 2 weeks from Tuesday. The rosters will be announced pretty soon. I think maybe next weekend is when they get announced.
How excited are you?
For the game?
Yeah, this year. I feel like this year I'm not as excited as last year.
Yeah, I'm not as excited this year. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that there's so many injuries. It's going to be in Texas, which I actually kind of like that stadium, but something about that Seattle All-Star game was a lot of fun. Good environment for it. The injuries don't help a lot, and the location maybe hurts it a little bit too. I mean, nothing wrong with Texas, but I don't know. I think there are going to be cooler spots for it.
I personally don't like the stadium, to be honest. I think that stadium just has no character, no vibes to it.
It's really grown on me. I don't know why, but since the COVID, obviously when the COVID games were being played there and there was no one there, I did not like that stadium at all. But last year in their playoff run kind of grew on me a little bit. Still, not my favorite stadium, but I mean, it's certainly better than their outdoor stadium. I don't know how they played for so long in the outdoors in that Texas heat.
I personally like that stadium. Not like that I liked it, but I thought it was a fun stadium, one of those I don't mind, but not bad.
It looked cool.
It had the big what was it in center? I think it was 400, and then it was called Texas Stadium. No, not Texas Stadium. That was where the Cowboys used to play. Rangers. It was Globe Life Field. No, I don't even remember, but I know they had a big grass in center field that I know people, when it was the Josh Hamilton days, I know people would jump over and grab the ball when it was a home run.
Yeah, it was that big hill in center past the fence where, if they hit a home run out there, people would run to the center and get it. Yeah, I don't know how they played games in the middle of the summer in Texas in that stadium. But nonetheless.
So let me give you a little bit of context. Let's talk about the venues, because I feel like we've talked about Texas, but there's places where recently we've seen a lot of baseball does a good job at holding, the All-Star game at new venues. It's very interesting to see, which stadium would you personally pick to have an All-Star game?
Dodger Stadium is number one for me.
That was 2 years ago.
I know. That's number one for me, though. And number two, a tie between Wrigley and Fenway, probably. The Cubs haven't had it since the 90s. I think they need to bring it back here.
Let me look it up. So the last one in Wrigley Field was in 1990, which is pretty crazy because Wrigley got renovated when the Ricketts family bought the team back. I don't know when. You could probably fact check me on that one, when the Ricketts family bought it. But MLB does a really good job at going to stadiums when they are newly built or renovated. For example, they went to Citi Field when it opened in 2013. They went to Target Field, Marlins Park in 2017.
That All-Star game sucked. They didn't even sell that thing out.
It was a 2-1 game. Nationals Park, they had one in 2018. They went to T-Mobile, and now they're going to Globe Life this year. Next year it's going to be in Atlanta at Truist, and then the year after in Philadelphia. So
next year it's going to be in Atlanta, or sorry, where'd you say next year?
Atlanta, yeah, in Truist.
And then the year after, has it been decided?
Citizens Bank.
Okay, that's a good spot to.
That'd be a good spot. I don't mind it.
Wait. It'll be 2026, so that'll be the 250th anniversary of the United States in 2026. So that's why they're having it in Philly. That makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean that'll be pretty good. And then I like the call. I personally enjoy the core. Like one of my favorite ones of recent time was the Rockies, Colorado, when they hosted. That was a good one.
You know why? I think it was because MLB The Show 21 had those really good cards. And
I just like the whole vibe. I think it was just a fun game.
That was the most relevant baseball game being played in Colorado in a long time.
Probably in the past 20 years.
No. They played in a World Series in, what was that, 2007?
2003 or 7.
No, 03 was Marlins Yankees.
Yeah, then it was.
I think it was 07. They lost to the Red Sox.
They went in 07. Yeah, they only have one pennant.
Yeah.
This is pretty. Oh my god. I don't want to like crap on the Rockies, but since they've been a franchise since 1993, so they've been about 31 years of history. They've only gone for the wild card playoffs 5 times, and they have one
wild card every single time.
They've gone 5 times. They have no division pennant, no divisional titles, 5 wild cards, one pennant, which was the 07 year that they got smoked by the Red Sox.
Yeah.
They 4-0'd the Diamondbacks. Clean sweep Bob Melvin's Diamondbacks.
In 07?
In 07. They clean sweep them.
Yeah, and they were a wild card recently. Was it like 2019? 2018? They had like Chris Bryant on the not Chris Bryant, sorry. Cargo. Who was the big basher on that team? I don't think was Tulo still there, I think?
They had Arenado at third.
That's right.
LeMahieu was running second. McMahon was on the team. They had Trevor Story, Blackman, David Dahl, Cargo, Matt Holliday, and Ramiel Tapia and Gerardo Parra. And Mike Tauchman was on the roster. Jesus.
Mike Tauchman? Was he really?
Mike Tauchman was on the roster? For this team, low-key, the 2018 team had Nolan Arenado, Ian Desmond, Garrett Hampson, DJ LeMahieu, Ryan McMahon, Trevor Story, and then the outfield was Charlie Blackman, David Dahl, Cargo, Matt Holliday, Gerardo Parra, Ramiel Tapia, and Mike Tauchman.
They were good. 91 and 72 that year. What has happened?
That pitching rotation was awful. Like, I'm just like, not that it's bad, but it's just like,
they've never had a pitching rotation, really.
They tried with John Gray, Jeff Hoffman, and Kyle Freeland, which were kind of like their 3 like guys that they developed in house. I remember that they went on a run, but none of that. They had Adam Ottavino, Antonio Senzatella, Herman Marquez. But
man, that feels like forever ago. It was only 6 years, but it feels like a long, long time ago.
2018, yeah, but I mean, just how the mighty have fallen, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
I wouldn't say they were mighty, but
they went to.
I wouldn't say they were mighty.
The MLB All-Star Game. We have gone our annual podcast. This is where we have gone through and decided which players are deserving of of recognition to be called to go to Texas this year, to Dallas, and we have gone position by position and made a roster. And the key rules that we did in picking was that there's 20 position players and 12 pitchers. And there has to be at least one backup per position. At least.
Yeah. And obviously every team needs to be represented.
Which I thought that was which we can now talk about it now. I feel like this year that was easy. Last year, I feel like that was very hard to do.
Yeah. It was easy because the bad teams like Colorado, Oakland, even Chicago, the White Sox, they have very obvious choices this year. I don't think there'll be much debate on those.
It wasn't like last year where we had to decide who was going to go for what team was it that we had to we were screwing Oakland was kind of in a way Oakland because Rooker went, and it was
Yeah.
and Detroit. Detroit was craziness. Picking Detroit.
Was it Gregory Soto last year?
It was Foley, I think.
Oh yeah.
Soto went
Yeah.
to Philadelphia
Yeah.
in the free agency. So let's go ahead. Let's start it up.
Wait. Before we start, I just want to say I don't understand, and I've never been a fan of All-Star games being in the middle of the season because you're not an All-Star for the 2024 season. You're an All-Star for the first half of the 2024 season. Theoretically, Aaron Judge could not get a single hit for the rest of the year, but he'd still be categorized and acknowledged as a 2024 All-Star. That's one thing that I think football does right in having the Pro Bowl after the season, where if you're a Pro Bowler, you are one of the best X amount of players in the entire season. With baseball, with basketball, hockey does it in the middle of the season too. You're only an All-Star for the first half, which I've never been a huge fan of. And that's why things like All NBA have do a better job of like storytelling of who was more or who are the most important players, who are the best players of that season. Which I'm glad MLB started doing. They only started doing the all MLB team in 2019 to try to get a better picture of who were the best players that season. They have like first team, second team. I think they have a third team too now. So I just want to get that out there. Like, yes, these are the best players so far in the season, but they're not the best players for the entire season. We don't know what the second half is going to look like.
It just means more, man. I'm just telling you, it just means more. Not trying to rob the SEC, but it just means more. We'll talk about the SEC later today, but let's go with the NL. I want you to go first.
You want to go position by position?
Yeah.
All right.
So how did you do yours? Is my question.
Okay, yeah, we should preface that.
Yeah,
because we do know there are a ton of injuries right now. I totally excluded. I did not factor that in. I wanted to pick the players that were most deserving, the players that I think have been the best players in the first half of the season. That's what I did.
So the way I did it is I used the fan vote, which I will rain like terror on the fan vote later on the podcast because in the AL I have clear issues with the fan vote.
Yeah, fan vote's always tough. I've never been a huge fan.
Garbage. Let's go. Catcher, who do you got?
My starting catcher is William Contreras from the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, it's between him and I forgot who it was. I think it's Realmuto, right? That it's between. I forgot what was the fan vote.
So, I don't know about the fan vote.
I
didn't even look at the fan vote. I can't stand fan vote.
I looked at the fan vote and I had clear issues, and I picked mine based on like the fan vote. So like I'm going for accuracy in my picks. I'm not trying to, but it was
low there, a little.
I'm not. No, that's just it. It was like I had clear issues in one side, like very clear issues. But in the NL, it was between William Contreras and JT Realmuto. So okay. I think William Contreras has had an MVP level season for Milwaukee. Yes. I think he is that guy. I don't think he gets enough recognition because he plays in Milwaukee. If William Contreras had a big C on his chest, a big red C on his chest, and some blue stitching, yeah, it'd be a whole different story.
Yeah.
If he was 45 minutes south.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point. And my backup catcher is Will Smith. I think you have that as well.
Yeah, I do too. I don't think Realmuto is deserving. Like the same thing is just like, why were you sticking him in there? Like, don't get me wrong, he's still a premier catcher, but like JT Realmuto has not had a season like Will Smith and William Contreras.
Yeah, Will Smith and William Contreras are the two leaders in WAR for catchers in the National League this year for what it's worth. Will Smith has 11 home runs. Contreras has 9. They're both hitting above 260. William Contreras is hitting 291. Good WRC pluses. Obviously, they're both really good defensively as well. So a pretty easy pick for me. Realmuto is 10th in WAR. He does have 7 home runs. He's played 29 less games than Contreras and 19 less than Will Smith. He's only played 51. He's banged up right now. So, no, he was not on my team.
Yeah, I don't. I'm just saying, yeah, not on my team. And he's hurt, right? Isn't he out for like 6 to 8 weeks?
Yeah, he's hurt right now. He's been out since, I think, mid-June.
Meniscus, right? I believe.
I think so. I'm not positive.
But yeah, no. Definitely. Will Smith has definitely cemented himself as a premier player in the league as a catcher.
Yeah. Don't
So
think that's much of an argument there.
let's keep going. Who do you got now?
Well, first base in the National League starting is, he won't start because he's hurt, but it is a no-brainer. Bryce Harper. He's my starting first baseman.
Yeah, and I agree with that one. He's a leading vote getter. He's already been selected into the All-Star team, so he will be there for the
Well, he'll be elected as an All-Star. He won't be there because he's hurt, I think, right now. Well, I know he's hurt. I don't think he will play in the game.
He's already elected.
Which doesn't mean he'll get replaced.
Yeah, what I mean. Which it's just this. I found some positions to be extremely weak. Like I feel like first base this year in the NL is very weak. Which my backup is no other than Freddie Freeman, but there isn't other first baseman which we'll get into later. So
you could say Christian Walker, 17 home runs. The batting average is 250, which isn't terrible. But Freeman and Harper are kind of just a step above everyone else this year. Lamont Wade Jr. has had a good season for San Francisco, but he also only played 54 games. Michael Busch got off to a hot start.
Bro, have you seen Michael Busch's numbers? Like, if you go put him in on Fangraphs, they're like super inflated with WRC plus. Like, he's still like top 50 in a lot of cats, which I'm just like, that whole month and a half where he just went ballistic has him still there.
Yeah, he's up there for National League first baseman. But yeah, Cubs can't hit. Just ask any Cubs fan.
Okay. Let's go with the second base. I think we're pretty unanimous. Ketel Marte. Very he's the Arizona rep this year. And then my backup's going to be Bryce Terang. He'll be my Milwaukee rep as well. Second base, another position that's very weak. It's down to Marte and Luis Reyes on the Padres. Reyes is playing really well, but not well enough to Marte. And, he's just kind of there on a name value purpose. I don't think he's had a season where he should be there. Like, he's still like a hitting machine, but I don't think he should be elected this year.
He doesn't. You're talking about Rays, right?
What's up?
You're talking about Rays, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't do much besides hit singles, which is a good thing. He's hitting 315, but it's 390 slug.
The Yankees would love to have that at second base other than Gleyber David Torres right now, right?
Absolutely. Not denying that. That is very sure. Shout out to Bryce Terang, 28 stolen bases on the year, second in WAR among second basemen in the National League, 290 average, and he hit a grand slam today. The Brewers had 5 grand slams in 8 games this week or over the last week and a half.
They're just nutty right now.
They're already 6.5 games up in that division. Obviously you're not going to declare that division over in the start of July, but they're right there. And none of the rest of the teams in that division really scare me. I have a lot of Brewers on my All-Star team.
That's just a cannibalism. Like, that division is just going to cannibalize each other. So
everyone everyone below the Brewers.
Below the line,
yeah. Third base.
Who do you got?
I got Bohm starting.
I got Bohm also. He's also on the fan boat. Manny Machado is also the number 2. He's gotten hot recently.
Yeah.
It's just been a month. So give me Alec Bohm. And then I have a clear issue on my backup. Because here's one of those, we have a rule, you have to have a backup. There's no other third baseman that, deserves to make it in the NL. But, it's you have to put Ryan McMahon. The only thing is Ezekiel Tovar has had a better season. Yeah. So it's kind of Colorado's going to get 1 rep. And you can't take both. You can only take 1. Tovar is more deserving, but there's no backup third baseman that would get it. So it's kind of what are they going to do? So I have Tovar maybe.
Oh, I have McMahon as my backup third baseman because I need a Colorado rep, and shortstop, I have some other guys that I think have had better seasons and are more deserving than Tovar. And I think third base is the weaker position, so that's why I went with McMahon. You could say Jory Ortiz. He actually leads WAR in third baseman, but I don't think he's going to make it. Bohm will be starting. I think that's pretty clear. And
Colorado needs a rep. That's the thing, and that's why I had it at first as McMahon, but I switched it to Tovar. Now I'm going back. Like, I had it. It's just shortstop's so deep, and there's going to be so many replacements. I think all the shortstops are going to make it eventually.
Yes. Yeah, you want to go to shortstop?
Shortstop's like the new wide receiver in baseball. Like, you know how many good wide receivers there are in the NFL? That's how it is in baseball. So Mookie's going to start, but he's not going to play because he has a fractured hand. And then I have Ellie De La Cruz. Ellie De La Cruz has to go. He's already has 40 stolen bases, and the month's not even over. Like, the month ended today. And he has 40. And we're through about 80, what is it? Thursday was game 81 for Cincy, game 82, 83. We're through 84 games, and he has 40 stolen bases.
83. Yeah.
Yeah, 83. So he's going to probably have like 80 stolen bases when it's all said and done. And he hasn't had like the explosion, Ellie De La Cruz stealing game. Like, you remember that one that he had in Milwaukee that he stole second, third, and home, that he had like 3 because like he can just do that.
He is crazy. I have the same thing. I have Mookie starting, Ellie as my backup, and then I'm also bringing in Francisco Lindor and CJ Abrams.
Lindor, oh my God!
Look at the numbers. He's third in WAR amongst shortstops. Probably the best defensive shortstop in the league, or definitely in the National League. Definitely the best.
Go.
Definitely the best defensive shortstop in the National League. He has 13 home runs, which is second amongst shortstops in the NL, only behind Ellie. 15 stolen bases as well, not too shabby, only behind Ellie as well. Strikeout rates are good, only 17%. Hitting 252 average. Like, the only thing you want to see more is maybe a little more average for him, but 445 slug. What's his OPS? He's got OPS is a 762. So you'd like to see him hit for a little more pop, but he is a key part of that resurgence in Queens right now, and I like him to go to the All-Star. I think he will be selected. And CJ Abrams is my Nationals rep. He's had a good year, 13 home runs, 13 stolen bases. Love that symmetry. 282 average, 137 WRC plus, 1.9 Fangraph 4. He's the kind of guy that I was worried about having a regression season. And he has regressed a little bit from last year, but he's still playing at an All-Star caliber level, so got him.
Francisco Lindor is a spicy Andrelton Simmons. He blonde hair dyed Andrelton Simmons.
You're just hating at this point on him,
bro. I'm just. Oh man, I'll keep quiet.
And he's a countryman too. He's Puerto Rican.
I don't care. It does not matter. I do not hold the. I don't care where you're from. I am non-discriminatory. You know.
Oh, I thought you would support your Puerto Rican brethren.
Oh, are you going to support your brethren from Butler, Ryan Pepio? He's already dropped in our fantasy baseball league right now, so you're not supporting him
because he hasn't been amazing.
Oh, okay. I thought you would support him. Anyways, outfield: Jerkson Profar, Fernando Tatis, who probably won't play, and Teoscar Hernandez. I think this is very cut and dry. We don't need to get deep into this.
No, I don't think so either. I have the same thing again, but Profar's been really impressive. I think he's had the most underrated season. Like, casual fans certainly have not paid attention to the season that he's having. 315 average, 11 homers. He's leading outfielders in WAR in the National League. Really impressive. So I have those 3 as my starters. Then my backup, I'm going Helio Ramos from San Francisco as my San Francisco rep. Actually, I have 2 San Francisco players, but he's one of them. Yelich from Milwaukee, I have him going, and Jackson Merrill, the rookie, as an All-Star.
I'm taking Brandon Nimmo from the Mets, Brian Reynolds, and Jackson Merrill. Those are my 3.
Brandon Nimmo's hitting 239, so that's
it's not all about the average, big dog. Brandon Nimmo has been the reason why he has a 2.4 WAR right now. He's hitting 239, but he has 2.4 WAR and a 132 WRC plus. Like y'all are sleeping on my guy Brandon Nimmo. There's a reason why I tried to get him in fantasy baseball. Y'all are sleeping on the center. That's why I said he would be a great trade candidate. But you know,
Yelich is hitting 318 with 18 stolen bases for Yelich this year. That's quite impressive.
Brandon Nimmo also. Maybe Jack, the rookie Merrill, could probably get squeezed out because of name.
Yeah.
But hey, he could easily make it in as a replacement for Fernando. So there's going to be a lot of replacements. There's so many injuries, and since we're still playing for 2 more weeks, there's going to be a lot of people that make it in.
And who is your other outfielder? Oh, Brian Reynolds. Yeah. He's deserving, I think.
He's my Pirates rep. And then what's up?
I said he just had a 25-game hitting streak snap today.
Oh, how unfortunate. You want me to play the world's smallest violin for him?
I'm just going to say Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak is probably the most unbreakable record in sports.
You just realized that, right? I hope you just didn't realize that.
No, I've known that for a long time, but it just every time someone gets – he wasn't even halfway there. Every time someone gets, 25, 30-game hitting streak, people – well, actually, Trey Turner had one 26-game hitting streak in 2022. That's the longest in the past few seasons. Or he had a 26-game hitting streak. Yeah, I think I said that.
I think we talked about this in like when we were in elementary school. Like you even said it, and then I kind of thought about it. I was like, yeah, I've kind of always held that to true.
Yeah, I mean, he had to scratch and claw to a 25-game hitting streak, and he wasn't even halfway there. And obviously with the way the game is nowadays and pitching being so dominant, yeah. At least in this current era, that record is not getting even – no one's even going to get to 35, 40, I don't think.
In our lifetime, the closest one from our lifetime, Whit Merrifield, hit for 31 games. Then Jimmy Reynolds, Jimmy Rollins, holy crap, hit 38 back in 2005. Wow,
38, that's really impressive. And he still wasn't even that close.
He came one shy of Paul Molitor at 39, which is 7th all time. Ty Cobb hit 40 in 1911. And then Pete Rose went for 44. Not even Pete Rose can get close. He was 12 games short. So,
yeah. Also, maybe Cal Ripken's record of consecutive games played. Like, that's pretty tough to get to.
I can see that one getting broken. It's hard, but I can see it.
It's really hard.
It's not like hitting 56 games. Think about that. 56 games is more than a fourth of the season.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Let's get into some DHs. Should be easy. I'm taking Shohei, and I got 3 backup DHs.
Okay.
I'm taking Pete Alonso, Marcell Ozuna, and Kyle Schwarber.
Okay. Yeah, I have obviously Ohtani on my team. I have Ozuna and I have Schwarber. Schwarber's hurt, so he's probably not going to make it to the game. But those are my 3. Ozuna has had a really good season. The Braves are, I'd say, turning it around lately.
So we're gonna stop the weekly. Are you worried about the Braves? I'm like, no, I'm not worried.
I don't know if they're gonna win the World Series, but
oh my God, we're going with his. I don't know. They already did it once. They did it once with Charlie Morton pitching with a freaking broken leg. So let's relax on that one.
Okay.
Starting pitchers. My starter is Ranger Suarez. I think that's unanimous.
Yeah.
He got punched up today for 6 against Miami.
Yeah, I got Suarez. I can't you run through yours.
I'm taking Suarez. I'm taking Chris Sale from Atlanta. Resurgent year. Tyler Glasnow, Logan Webb, Sonny Gray, Zach Wheeler, and my guy, the pitching whisperer, Shota Imanaga.
Cubs rep.
Yes, the Cubs rep. So yeah, Sonny Gray in past post injury has been insane. If he was available for the trade deadline, I think they'd get an ungodly return for him. Zach Wheeler, he's probably the best pitcher in Philadelphia, but he hasn't been pitching like it. But he still had a great year. Ranger Suarez has just gone ballistic. Glasnow, again, another guy pitching great, and then Logan Webb has been pitching pretty well too. So those are my guys.
Yep, I have Suarez starting. I have Sale, Glasnow, Webb, Gray, Wheeler. I'm bringing Paul Skeens.
Whoa.
I'm bringing Paul Skeens. Yep. I'm taking Shota, Managa. I'm also taking Max Fried. This is a name that I'm surprised you aren't bringing.
I'll let you know my reasoning why I did not bring these guys.
Okay.
So Logan Webb, I'm taking him because he has to go because of a San Francisco rep. San Francisco doesn't have anybody else that can go, in my opinion. Okay. Then Shota has to go for Chicago because Chicago doesn't have any other rep.
Yep.
And then Sale deserves it. Glasnow deserves it. Wheeler deserves it. And then the only one that I could see getting like snubbed out could be Sonny Gray. But I think he should get it. The only way, and we'll get into relievers, I think Sonny Gray might be – it's just a toss-up. If they take two St. Louis, maybe. And the thing is that Atlanta already gets represented and Pittsburgh gets represented. Paul Skeens and Max Fried are replacement players for me. I have two more replacement players that I would take, but I'll tell you later.
Skeens will probably make the team just with injuries and stuff.
Yeah.
I have him on my outright team. He's only made 9 starts. Most other starters have made anywhere between like 14 and 17. So like 5, 6, 7 less starts than everybody else. But
he's pitching he's been
incredible. 2.06 ERA. He is one of the best pitchers in the game. So I want him in Texas. I think it'd be good for the sport. And then reliever.
They need Livy. They need Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce from Wish at their baseball's biggest event of the year. So let's get it going. Alibaba version, you know?
And then my relievers, I got Tanner Scott from Miami as my Miami rep. He'll probably get moved at the deadline. Ryan Helsley from St. Louis and Robert Suarez from San Diego.
So I took a couple more relievers. I took Scott, Helsley, Suarez. Kyle Finnegan's my Nationals rep. He's had a really nice year. He's been a guy that's flown really under the radar. I did talk about them in a past podcast, how him and Hunter Harvey have been a great 1-2 that I bet you the Yankees wish they had at the back end of the games. Two guys that just shut it down starting at the 8th. And then I'm taking Fernando Cruz. Had a really deserving year, sort of like a Joe Mantiply year. Remember when Joe Mantiply made it the other year? Fernando Cruz has a very good splitter. He's been a very, very reliable for Cincinnati. And I feel like, he's just one of the guys that I feel should, for having a good year, should get rewarded for his good play. So
there's a lot of relievers that can fly under the radar just because there's so many of them. So, yeah, good to get Cruz on the roster. I think he's deserving.
The analytics look great. And then my replacements, as I said, I have Dylan Cease, Paul Skeens, Max Fried, and CJ Abrams. The reason I didn't take Cease was because San Diego is pretty mid, and I can't justify taking 4 San Diego players when they're a bang average team. If LA only has 5 players, why would I give them 4? They're not playing like LA anywhere close.
Yeah, I think Matt Waldron, he's another potential San Diego player that's had a good season on the mound. Also, Ronaldo Lopez from Atlanta maybe just doesn't have enough starts, but he's, like I mentioned last week, one of the more under-the-radar players this season. Other than that, I don't think there's any major snubs on this list.
We pretty much agreed, which is a first. Last year we had more discussion. I felt like this year was just really it was a lot easier due to injury, but I feel like like I said, the bad teams had like really easy picks. Really, really easy picks.
They made it easier for us this year. All right,
I had more issues with the AL. I feel like the AL fan vote had so many issues. I feel like Baltimore's fans could want to put their whole team in. And don't get me wrong, you're playing like the best team in baseball, but man, your whole team does not deserve to start.
Agree. But if we start out at catcher, I think their catcher will be starting, and that's Adley Rutschman.
Yeah, he's the best player. Adley is the captain of that team. It's between him and Salvi. Salvi does deserve it, but then Salvi's not the best player on his team.
Yeah, and Salvi started out really hot, but kind of cooled off since. So Adley's just been consistent as always. So he's going to be – he's only in year 2 or year three at this point, 2.5 because he started like half of the 2022 season. But he's on a Hall of Fame trajectory. I'll just say that. Still way early in his career, but he's on that trajectory.
Are we gonna? Is he? He's not Joe Mauer though. That's my thing. I kind of feel like modern day catchers all have to get put in like compared to Joe Mauer.
Yeah,
Joe Mauer
he's got to get an MVP. So that,
which I don't know how he's going to get an MVP if he's playing in a side with Aaron Judge, Kyle Tucker, Juan Soto, Bobby Witt Jr.
Even Gunnar Henderson.
Yeah, that's going to be impossible. Not impossible, but it's going to be like he's going to have to go berserk.
Yeah, and catchers don't win MVP awards for playing really good defense.
Which they should get credit, but no, not at all.
Yeah, it's all offensive production for that award. But I have Adley starting, Salvi as my backup.
First base, I got Vlad Jr. And then I got Josh Naylor. Vlad's gotten hot recently. Killed your Yankees this weekend. Also now open to playing for the Yankees, which is pretty ironic now that he says that when Toronto's crappy. So,
yeah, even was it over the offseason, he was giving the Yankees a hard time.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm never signing, and I'm like, oh, I feel like he'd be a great Yankee player. Not gonna lie, I feel like he would fit. He would fit into the New York culture. I feel like he would enjoy the big stage. I feel like he'll give you a lot of sound bites. That I feel like that's what you guys lack these days.
I mean, he'd be an upgrade from what we're running out there at first base right now. Although Ben Rice had a good game today. He had a good weekend, but would obviously be an upgrade. Huh?
Ben Rice out?
For Vlad, yes, 10 times out of 10.
Oh man, you saw Judge was taking first base reps the other day, right?
Yeah, he did that last summer though too. I don't know if there's anything behind that.
Hey! What if they go get a little outfielder by the name of Kyle Tucker and they put him out there, and then you got Kyle Tucker, Juan Soto, and then Aaron Judge at first, and then Jason Dominguez too. Also, yep.
No chance. Astros are on fire. They're 4.5 back in that division right now.
And I forgot the Steinbrenners now pay taxes and they count their money. So I forgot. Never knew the Yankees went cheap. So
yeah.
Who's your first baseman?
I have it flipped. I have Josh Naylor starting, Vlad as the backup, just because Josh Naylor has 20 home runs, and I feel like if you have 20 home runs at the All-Star break, you deserve to be a starter.
He's cooled down. You know who it is?
He has.
You know who it is between for the fan vote?
Ooh, wait, let me guess. You mentioned the Baltimore Orioles, so I'm going to say Ryan Mountcastle.
Yeah,
Vlad.
It's Mountcastle between Vlad. It's like why? Like not even a chance.
Not even a chance.
Second baseman, I got Jose Altuve, and then my backup Jordan Westburg.
Yep, I have the same thing. That's pretty self-explanatory this year.
Very self-explanatory.
That's a weak position, second base in American League, because guys like Gleyber Torres, Simeon have had down years.
Simeon is the second base is right now in the vote for the finalist vote. That's why I hate fan voting. Like Simeon does not deserve to be anywhere near.
Not even close. You know who's had a really good season as like a second baseman / utility guy that could be a replacement? I can't believe I'm saying it, but Isaiah Kiner-Falefa.
IKF has been on a tear.
He's been really good.
But it just goes to tell you, it's just been like some guys just aren't made for New York. I'm not saying that they're not made for New York, but it's just like it's the roles. I mean, I bet you would love to have IKF right now on the team.
Yeah. We're also missing John Berti, who's hurt right now. Just as like a utility
would you rather have IKF or John Berti?
I mean, currently IKF, but
in reality,
even last year IKF was good for us. I gotta say,
he pitched really well too last year. And then the necessity that if he's just garbage can,
he just does it all.
So Jose Altuve again. I think he's is he first ballot in your opinion?
If there's the option before first ballot, I think he should be the first player inducted before even going on the ballot.
The only problem is the whole scandal that's what he's gonna get. How are they gonna view the whole like sign scandal?
Yeah,
that's just the issue.
I mean, he's the best. Yeah, and I agree. I was obviously joking. Yeah, I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer based on the career that he's had. I'm sure some voters will definitely hold that against him, and he might make it on the second or third ballot. But statistically, like he's done it since that whole scandal. Like he's continued to produce. So, I don't hate the guy. I in 2017 I couldn't stand the guy, and then obviously when they were making their runs after the whole scandal came out, I couldn't stand him. But
you
I don't know.
you still get PTSD when Chapman gets put in the ninth in a 1-run game.
Even if it's not my team, even if it's for Pittsburgh at this point.
Yeah, it's peak. Third base,
starter. I got J-Ram, and my backups I got Luis Rengifo and Rafael Devers.
I have the same. I think J-Ram is criminally underrated. I feel like he's one of those guys where we just expect, okay, when is he not going to live up to the expectations? Is this the year? Is this the year of the decline? And nope, the dude just plays ball. I kind of wish we had the larger bases when he was younger, because I feel like he could have been a 40-40 candidate or a 30-30 guy with the bigger bases.
So, yeah, I think that's a good point. He's got 15 this year. His career high is wow. He had in 2018 he had 34 stolen bases.
So could you imagine with bigger bases that year? How many times did he get caught stealing that year?
6 times.
So yeah, let's say he gets 3 more. He's right there. And then what was his power output?
That year in 2018, he had 39 home runs.
That's what I'm saying. The dude was crazy. I mean,
how has he not got an MVP award?
Because he's been stuck in like hard eras. That's the problem. There's always those guys that get stuck in like eras where it's super difficult. So like right now, it's gonna be pretty hard for him because he's in the Trout, Judge, Ohtani era.
Yeah.
In the AL, and then back in 2018? Who won it?
28. He was third in voting. I mean, he's not in the national. He's not in the American League anymore.
Is he still playing? Oh, was it Mookie Betts? It had to be Mookie. He was stuck in the Mookie Betts era, pre-Mookie, and then who else? Give me another hint. Of who else? Who's
second? He's injured right now.
He's injured right now. Is he still in the AL?
Yes.
East, West, or Central?
West.
Oh, Trout.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just unlucky. Rengifio's had a great year. He was working out with the Rays, and now he's hitting like 320. Like, I don't know what they got going on in his like baseball academy down there in Venezuela, or wherever he lives in the off season. Like they're doing something right. Like Rengifio like deserves, and I feel like he would be one of the guys that I feel everybody would feel good because Rengifio is 27 and he only played on the Angels. Isn't it his brother doesn't he have a brother? Oh, you know who I'm confusing with? I'm confusing with Emilio Bonifacio.
Oh.
So, like, I kind of always felt like Rengifio's played in, like, a lot of different teams. But, yeah, he deserves it.
Yeah, and I want to give him a lot of credit. He's been a bit of a punching bag on this podcast, but he's had a hell of a season. 317 batting average, 6 home runs, 21 stolen bases, which is already a career high. So,
are we gonna retire the Luis Rengifio hate on this podcast? Are we gonna retire we got to get a new guy for the Angels. We can't be saying, "Oh, they tried out Luis Rengifio," when he's like a quality MLB. He actually turned that into a quality MLB guy. So we got to find somebody else tenured. Let's pick up. They got Brandon Drury and Luis Guillermo. Oh my god!
No. I mean, right now it's probably Miguel Sano, the guy that they're running out there. That's
Kevin Pillar.
Willie Calhoun.
Willie Calhoun used to be a top prospect. Willie Calhoun was like the equivalent of what Oswaldo Peraza was for the Dodgers when they moved him to Texas in the Yu Darvish trade.
Yeah.
And then he ended up on the Yankees as one of the guys that the Yankees ended up fixing for like half a year. And then guess what? Boom. So
for like a couple months. We'll take some time to think about that.
Shortstop, I think. What do you got? I feel like we can debate this one.
This is not a debate. It's not even.
Who are you taking?
It's the guy that leads all of baseball in WAR right now, Gunnar Henderson. He's having one of the best shortstop seasons in the history of the game.
So
26 home runs. So
Gunnar over Bobby, that's crazy because I feel like Bobby could be in the MVP combo, but it's just that this guy's just going nuclear.
No, yeah, The Athletic they have like their daily newsletter called The Windup that I read, and they were comparing Gunnar's stats to some of the best shortstop seasons ever, and he's in that conversation of like A-Rod in the early 2000s. I mean, 26 home runs.
Yeah.
Just crazy. 292 average, 180 WRC plus, and a 6.1 Fangraphs WAR, which is just yeah, he's there. 13 stolen bases too.
Could you imagine if he played like in a hitter-friendly ballpark? Like, let's say, like if he played freaking in maybe like in Wrigley,
Or even in like the short porch in New York.
or even Texas. Crawford boxes in Texas. Texas, if you pull the ball, that's pretty like that would have been nuts.
Yeah, and wait,
Yeah.
he's a lefty though.
I'm just saying, but hey, he has power for days. He can swing the freaking ball. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, like that deep left field in Camden is hurting some potential opposite field home runs for sure. But most of his home runs are either straight away or pull. But it just his savant page is like ridiculous. Him and Judge, I think, are battling for MVP right now.
Who you taking, Judge or him? Who's gonna win it?
Judge. I think based on pedigree, you got to go with Judge, but Gunner's giving him a run for his money, but also like Judge might be the best hitter in the sport, honestly.
And he's not slowing down, which everybody's like, oh, he's getting old. This is the year. You know,
he's the modern day Babe Ruth, I would say. And I know a lot of people say that about Ohtani, but Ohtani's a great, dude, how do you, like, they're both two of the best hitters in the game, but Judge is just, I mean, and it might be because I watch the guy every single day, but absolute, just, he's not human the way he hits the ball. He's ridiculous.
So, okay, we agree shortstop. Let's go to outfield. Judge is in. Who's your two other guys?
Did we mention our backups? I have Bobby Witt and Anthony Volpe as my backup shortstops.
I got Bobby Witt and Carlos Correa. I want to take Volpe, but I can't take four shortstops. And Minnesota needs a rep.
Yeah, Correa's been crushing it.
Good. Yeah, so yeah. I want to take Volpe. I'm the president of the Volpe club.
But I just realized I don't have a Minnesota rep, so I might have to take out Volpe for.
Because the only other guy you can make a case for Minnesota could be Joe Ryan.
Yeah, and I spoiler alert, he didn't make it for me.
So yeah, give me Correa. So outfield, I'm taking Kyle Tucker and Juan Soto.
You're only starting two outfielders?
Well, Judge is already in. We already talked about Judge. I'm not going to.
Okay. I got Judge. I got Judge, Soto, and I'm starting Stephen Kwan over.
I'm not gonna glaze the guy. Pause even more. So Kwan's not on the fan vote, which is crazy. The fan vote. Oh, he is on the fan vote. I'm sorry. It's Juan Soto, Kyle Tucker, and Stephen Kwan, and Anthony Santander. And I took Tucker over Kwan.
Is Judge on there? Or he's got to be number one, right?
Judge is already in. Judge and Harper are already locked in because they were the leading vote getters.
Okay.
So they're already in. So then you're picking two more. So I'm taking Soto and Kyle Tucker.
Okay. That's fair. I'm starting Kwan over Tucker.
Yeah, well, I take Tucker. And then designated hitter is outfield. My backup's Kwan, Jarren Duran, and Anthony Santander.
Okay, I have Kyle Tucker, Jarren Duran as my Boston rep, Riley Green as my Tigers rep. Actually, I have two Tigers players. And yeah, that's what I have as backup.
I think the outfield is just so deep this year. So for the AL.
Yes. Yeah.
Santander has, I think, 20 home runs, so he gets in. And then I can't take a fourth outfielder because I have to get reps in for Tampa. So
yeah, Tampa's rough.
Yeah, DH, I have Yordan. What do you got?
I got Yordan.
Yeah, the fan vote had Ryan O'Hearn as the other finalist.
What? Oh my Lord.
Giancarlo could easily make it, but I'm saying, like, why is Ryan O'Hearn in the discussion?
Yeah. Giancarlo's had a good season. Obviously, he's hurt now, but he has 18 home runs. He's in the discussion, but I don't think he's going to make it. Like Brent Rucker, you could say if Mason Miller wasn't having the season that he's having, Brent Rucker would be in that discussion again, but he probably won't make it.
And then my other DH is Isaac Paredes. He's the only guy you can take from Tampa. So
yeah, that's what I have.
Yeah. So yeah, starter. Who's your starter?
Starting pitcher, I'm going Corbin Burns.
Corbin as well. He's pitching great. Then what's your rotation?
So my rotation, I'm going Tanner Houck from Boston, Ronel Blanco from Houston, who has been incredible. Tarek Skubal from Detroit, Garrett Crochet is my White Sox rep, fully deserving too.
Yep.
Logan Gilbert from Seattle, Luis Heel from New York, two Royals pitchers. I got Seth Lugo and Cole Reagans. And then my relievers are Clase from Cleveland, Kirby Yates from Texas, and Mason Miller from Oakland. It's crazy how hard it was to come up with a Texas rep for the defending World Series champions.
Texas was nuts. I thought it was pretty easy because of the relievers. So I'm taking Tanner Houck, Ronel Blanco, Tariq Skubal, Garrett Crochet, Logan Gilbert. I'm taking 5 starters. And probably the guys that probably don't make it are probably like a Seth Lugo, Luis Heel, are probably like replacement guys. And then relievers, Clase, Kirby, Mason Miller. I'm taking Clay Holmes, and I'm taking Carlos Estevez if Rengifo gets screwed.
Okay.
In the event that they have to because the only Tampa guy you can take is Paredes. So in the event that Rengifo gets bumped out, Carlos Estevez goes.
That's fair.
And then Clay Holmes has more than 20 saves right now.
I just can't take Clay Holmes.
I know it's just you have to just take him. So those are my guys. There's clear, snubs. Very interesting that Seattle was pretty hard in a way because you expect them to have a Julio. He's not going. Julio's been, I think it's the 4th worst in OPS this year out of qualified hitters.
Really?
Yeah, Julio's been not good.
I know he hasn't been good. I didn't know he was 4th worst amongst qualifieds.
He was 4th worst. I think it was something like that. I'm gonna look it up right now. I read it on Twitter the other night from one of the guys, the baseball guys, and it was bad.
I have it. So amongst qualified hitters, all qualified hitters, he's 12th worst in OPS with a 628. Wow.
Yeah, he has no power. And the thing is, it's he adjusted to hit. I think it was they were saying he's adjusted to hit sinkers, but now he can't hit the other part of the plate. His adjustments have clearly broken him. So,
and they're still in first place, and he's been playing poorly,
which is crazy. You can make it also. I like Riley Green. I think you can make an argument. Willie Castro, Jesse Winker are guys that could make an argument. I just hope they just don't take half the Baltimore team. It's fun. They are deserving, but I just don't want to see 7 Baltimore players.
Yeah. Another name.
If I wanted to do that, I could just go pull up a Baltimore game, on a regular day.
Another name, David Fry from Cleveland has had a good year. Even Josh Smith from Texas, he was in my consideration. Royce Lewis would be an all-star if he just simply played more, but he doesn't have the games under him. Ryan Jeffers has had a good season.
Jazz Chisholms has a good season as well. He just plays in Miami.
He'd probably be your second Miami rep, yeah. Behind Scott, for sure.
You would never guess what's his average right now.
Is it 260 something?
That's 17th best right now in Major League Baseball.
Wow.
The
He's got a lot of stolen bases, right?
The craziest thing is this. Guess how many players are hitting over 300 right now?
Okay. Is this amongst qualifieds?
Yeah. Don't look it up. Just off top of
I'm not. I'm thinking, is Arrays qualified?
Yeah, he's qualified, but he's nowhere near.
Luis Arrays is hitting 311.
Wait, what? My Fangraphs doesn't have him at 311. Oh, my bad. I put outfielders. I had him at outfielders. My bad. Yeah.
Okay, keep doing this. Though. I actually want to think about this.
It was actually 3 outfielders. Easier.
Okay. Do you have the whole list up now?
I have the whole list up. Now it's only 12 guys hitting over 300.
Okay.
300 or better.
Judge is right there. Is he there after today's games?
Judge is 313. Judge is 5th best in the league right now.
Okay. Yeah, he's hitting. I thought he was 298 the other day. Okay. I got Judge.
You got
Adley Rushman.
Adley doesn't make it.
He's 298 or something.
Yeah, he's 298.
Oh, Altuve.
Yes, he's hitting 3-0 run. That's 2. 10 more.
Quan, if he's qualified.
Quan's not qualified. Quan's not there.
Had that hamstring injury. Bobby Witt.
3. 9 more.
Let me see. Ohtani?
Otani's number 1 in the league at 321.
Okay.
Otani's savant page is something for you guys to look at.
Mookie's probably not qualified anymore.
No.
Ooh.
Oh, Rays is qualified. My bad.
Yeah.
That's 5, yeah.
Yelich?
No.
Yeah. Oh, he's just not qualified then.
You want me to just give you the other 7 more?
Fine.
Ohtani 1, Rengifo 2, Arrays 3, Profar 4, Judge 5, Correa 6, Bobby 7. Sorry, Mookie was on there, so you got another one. 8, Bryce Harper, Juan Soto, Jose Altuve, and Marcell Ozuna.
Oh, Zuna's hitting 300?
Ozuna's right at 300.
And he has like 20-something home runs too, right?
Yeah, he's a mutant right now. He's a freaking absolute mutant, is what we call him.
Ozuna from the Braves.
Yeah, he has 21 home runs right now, which is 6th best. Jose Ramirez has 23, which is 4th best in Major League Baseball. Holy crap.
And Judge and Gunnar are 1-2 in home runs, right?
Judge is 30, and Gunnar is 3rd, tied with Ohtani at 26.
Okay. Yeah.
League leader in strikeouts, Ellie De La Cruz.
Who's the pitching leader in strikeouts this year? Because we had Strider, but he got hurt, so obviously he's not going to win that.
Pitching leader right now in Ks. It doesn't pop up for me. Oh, there it is. It's not Glasnow.
I'm seeing Crochet. Actually, I just pulled up on ESPN. Crochet's got 141.
I have Glasnow 136 is what it's reading for me. Did he pitch today?
Crochet?
Yeah.
Let's see. No, he pitched on Monday, but
I got him. Yeah.
ESPN's got him at 141. Stolen base leader, Ellie De La Cruz. RBI leader, Judge.
You want to get into the news of the week?
ERA leader, Seth Lugo. Yeah, sure.
Yankees, they've lost 10 out of the last 13. How are you feeling?
You know, bad month, and they still only went 14-13. So it could be a lot worse. Mm-hmm. Got the split in Toronto, which was really nice to not lose that series. We come home and play. I think the Cincinnati series is at home this week.
Yeah, it's at home. Cincinnati has Abbott, Ashcraft. They should be able to hit the crap out of Ashcraft.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Mets series was very concerning, and weird. Like none of those games were close.
What are you talking about? The Mets are the best story in baseball. Let's just talk about the Mets. They're the best story in baseball. Did you see Friday night?
The concert they had after the game?
Oh my God.
Who was it?
The song's called OMG, and it goes, "Oh my God."
What was it? What was the singer's name? Jose Iglesias?
Yeah, the shortstop who started in Boston, then he went to Detroit. He played in Cincy. He plays on the Mets. Like he's one of those like journeyman guys who's always gonna have like a job because he's like good. But not good.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Played in Baltimore, Angels, Boston, Colorado. Yeah, that was pretty good.
The Mets are pure vibes right now.
Mets are vibes right now. The Grimace, I don't know. They might just have to make the Grimace like their whole like logo next year.
Move out of the way, Mr. and Miss Met. It's Mr. Grimace.
Do you think Mr. What's their minute? Espada? No, Espada. It's not Espada.
Mendoza
for GM of the year.
GM?
No, manager. My bad.
Carlos Mendoza.
Yeah. Hey.
I mean, if they make the playoffs,
Severino too.
It's this weird dichotomy because they have the highest payroll in the entire sport this year, and we're trying to view them as some like feel good story. But I think he's in the conversation. If they make the playoffs, I think he's in the conversation.
That project just looks 100 times more enticing. If they keep winning, that's going to be a spot for free agents. Like that's just not good from the Yankees' perspective. Like Juan Soto looking them win, like that's not good.
If Juan Soto goes to the Mets, I will be unwell.
I'm telling you right now, Juan Soto they need to put him on the IL. He needs like a couple weeks off. Like you just need to
but
sit him down, let him get back into groove, rehab.
I mean, I guess he's playing great baseball. I don't know if like you want to rest and get out of a groove or something.
Well, he's been hurt. His numbers on analytics look low. So after the forearm injury, I don't know. He could be getting in a little bit of that New York lifestyle too much, going to those concerts. He was at the Aventura concert the other day. So I don't know.
I'm not buying it.
Not buying it. How about we talked about the Brewers. We talked about Brian Reynolds. James Woods could play tomorrow. That'll be very interesting. Hopefully we see some nukes from him. He was one of the big pieces in the Soto trade. And then Philadelphia. How do you feel about the Phillies getting banged up?
Yeah, they got Harper, Schwarber, T1 Walker, Real Muto all on the IL right now. The good news for them is they started the season out so hot, and they have a huge lead in that division. So I think it's probably a good thing to get these injuries hopefully out of the way at this point in the season. They split 4 in Miami this weekend, so honestly good for Miami. Shout out to Miami. They've kind of been playing okay ball since their horrible start. So I'm not really worried about the Phillies. It's, the start of July. They have some injuries, but nothing long-term. Like Harper's got a hamstring strain, minor. Schwarber's got a minor groin strain. A little worried about Realmuto, but I think they'll be fine. Just kind of a bit of a bump in the season right now, but they should still win that division. They should hopefully be healthy by the playoffs. But it is, just something that's happening.
Tennessee won the College World Series. How do you think about that? How are you feeling about that?
They were the best team in college baseball this year, so I think they were deserving. The number 1 seeds won in baseball, basketball, and football this year.
Are you well about that? Or are you unwell about that?
Oh, I don't. I'm not the biggest Tennessee fan, but they deserve it. They can have their baseball championship, and Michigan won the sport that really matters the most, and that is football. When it comes to college sports, in Tennessee, they will not win CFP anytime soon. So, yeah, Michigan. I don't know if you guys remember, but they did win the national championship in football this year. So, just saying.
Hey, let's not also forget. Did you hear the rumor that came out? So let's talk about the biggest beef in baseball of the week. I think it is probably the most interesting storyline. Texas A&M in Texas. So for context, Texas A&M baseball coach came out and said wasn't it Monday after the game when they lost? Because I was watching the Panthers win the title. My Florida Panthers won the sport that matters here in Florida, which is hockey. So
lifelong fan.
Like it doesn't matter. Baseball doesn't matter here. We care about hockey now in Florida. Like that's the other thing. Hey, we got the Lightning. Which screw the Lightning because they, but hey, the Lightning and the Panthers have won 3 out of the last, I think it's 5 Stanley Cups or 4 Stanley Cups. Like the state of Florida runs hockey. It's not football anymore. It's hockey. We're a hockey state. Yeah,
that is true with the Lightning and the Panthers. You guys have been dominating that sport.
Hey, we go out on the ice rinks out here outside in 100 degrees and we go skating. I know it's impossible, but hockey.
It's just embedded in the culture in Florida.
In the culture, man. But it was Monday, right? That the Texas A&M manager came out and said, "I am not leaving for any other job." And then the next day, he takes the Texas job.
Jim Schlossnagel, I think is how you say his name.
Yeah,
just gutless and spineless. That's a tough look. I mean,
how would you feel if how would you feel if somebody did that Michigan to Ohio State?
In baseball,
baseball doesn't matter. Y'all don't give a shit about baseball.
Even though they were 1 win away from a College World Series in 2019. That was such a heartbreaking loss. They lost to Vanderbilt. Mm-hmm. Which was just a crazy Cinderella run. But if that happened in football, I mean, first of all, it would never happen in football because why would anyone downgrade like that?
You have to take a shot at Ohio State. Hey, Ohio State's baseball coach did leave to go to TCU for an assistant coaching job. Wasn't it like that?
Really? Eric Bakich left Michigan to go to Clemson, which, I mean, that's definitely an upgrade for baseball.
And
I didn't know that about the Ohio State coach.
Yeah, the Ohio State baseball, coach, I think he left from Ohio State to go to be like I'll tell you right now, he left Ohio State. It was really crazy. So he resigned and he went back to TCU.
Wow. That is a tough look for Ohio State. The A&M thing is ridiculous.
This is worse. He left the head coaching Ohio State job to go back to be the top assistant hitting coach for TCU.
Ooh. Less stress, I guess, but no, the A&M thing's crazy because A&M is a really good baseball program. A&M is arguably a better baseball program than Texas is. Not all time, certainly not all time, but right now. And you're leaving A&M to go rebuild Texas, and you're their biggest rival, and you're taking all their players already. And you said you weren't going to leave A&M? Ooh.
He got a nice little bag too.
Yeah. As a recruit, why would you ever believe anything that guy says?
He took $3 million, I think, from Texas. So
yeah, it's crazy to me.
Texas has more resources, though. Hypothetically,
yeah. Oh, they definitely do. Texas has endless money. A&M has a lot of money too, though.
Better location too. Instead of being in College Station in Austin, I mean, not great if you're a Republican. If he's a Republican, Austin, I feel like that's not a great place. But
Lord,
hey, it's Lord true. Austin's a more Democratic city. It's a more Democrat-leaning city, more left.
For the Texans, I guess.
Yeah, for the Texans. So yeah.
All right, let's not get into politics. That's not our expertise.
Hey, we don't need to go into the Biden-Trump debate on Thursday.
Nope.
I mean,
we do not need to do that on this.
So podcast. how do you feel? So in all the players you see, Jace, what's his name? I don't know his last name, but
yeah, like one of the top players in the country apparently from A&M going to Texas probably.
He'll probably end up at LSU for all we know, because LSU's like transfer portal, like they just go into the portal and go crazy in the portal.
They do in all sports. No, that's true for everybody nowadays.
But in baseball they go crazy. Like like some places like Georgia, Alabama, they go crazy in the portal for football. And basketball, pretty much it's like the big blue bloods like Arkansas. Well, now Arkansas and UConn go crazy in the portal.
Yeah, Paul Skeens was a transfer from Air Force.
So wasn't it Tommy Tanks also a transfer?
I don't know. He's gonna be a first-round pick though.
They're saying he might fall out. He was linked with the Yankees.
Yeah, I was gonna say I saw a mock to the Yankees recently.
Yeah. But they supposedly A&M called up Tony Vitello to get him a bag to leave UT, and he was like, "Nah, I'm okay."
He just wanted, even though Texas is a better job than Tennessee, even though Tennessee just won the damn national championship, but you do have more resources at Texas.
Yeah.
Because A&M. Sorry. A&M called him up. Yeah, I'd rather be at Tennessee than A&M.
They're saying that he was at TCU because he was an assistant at TCU, an assistant at Arkansas, an assistant at Missouri.
Vitello?
Yeah. So there's also, they were saying that the only jobs that Vitello would leave would probably be Arkansas.
Why? Oh, because
why?
Did he go there?
He was an assistant there. He went to, so Tony Vitello went to University of Missouri and was an infielder there. And then he became an assistant coach for 7 years at Missouri. But Missouri is dog water in baseball. Like if you were to decide to go from Tennessee to Missouri, I think, you're just deciding to commit, a huge downgrade. Yeah. And then, Arkansas is a powerhouse.
Yeah, but they always come up short in the playoffs or in the postseason, whatever.
But they got that Tyson's food money, man. That Tyson chicken.
They got Walmart money too.
And they got Calipari and they got Jerry Jones money too. Don't forget that one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, pretty crazy. Team of the month. We'll get into that right now. We'll go through quickly. Rutschman, Harper, Kettle Marte, Royce Lewis at third, Gunnar Henderson at short, Aaron Judge outfielder. He's the hitter of the month. Stephen Kwan outfielder. Jaron Duran from Boston. Shohei DH. Pitcher of the month is Garrett Crochet. Then you got Corbin Burns, Ryan Helsley, and Trevor Meagle from Milwaukee.
And you're still figuring out the rest of your rotation.
What do you mean the rest of the rotation?
For pitchers. Five-man rotation.
I got to find Well, you'll find out next week when we drop the post.
Tomorrow morning. Well, I'm gonna post these up. Yeah, I got Rushman Harper, India at second, IKF at third, Gunnar Henderson's my hitter of the month, Aaron Judge, Duran Kwan, Otani, and then my pitchers I have Crochet, Christopher Sanchez, Logan Gilbert, Hunter Brown, Paul Skeens, Meagle, Carlos Estevez, and John Berebbia from the White Sox.
Well, it's only we need 3 relievers. Let's sound like such a now. So, lots.
Okay. Let's get into locks, before we get out of here. I'll go first. I hit my pick this week with the Twins over the Mariners. They lost the first game in extras and then came back and won the next 2. I'm staying in Seattle. I'm going with the Mariners over the Orioles, Tuesday through Thursday series. The Orioles are playing right now on Sunday Night Baseball. Then they got to fly all the way to Seattle. Super long flight overnight. Get in Monday and then play Tuesday night. Really good pitching matchups in this series, by the way. Tuesday is Grayson Rodriguez versus George Kirby. Wednesday's Corbin Burns versus Logan Gilbert. And then Thursday, Albert Suarez for Baltimore has had an underrated season versus Bryce Miller for Seattle. Little Thursday, 4th of July game there out west. And Seattle, they played at home this weekend. They're staying home. They're sleeping in their own beds. Meanwhile, Baltimore's got to fly across the country. And that's why I'm gonna stick with the Mariners. I'm gonna stick with the whole travel thing for my picks, and I'm going with them.
Yeah, that backfired on me this week. Padres won the first 2 out of the series, so yeah, not doing that this week. I'm actually gonna take I'm taking the Tigers over the Twins this week. Tigers got good pitching matchups. I don't know. I'm just rolling with Detroit, man. I've always been a Detroit Tigers guy on this podcast. Why not?
You picked them to win the division.
I did. It's not looking good.
It is not. It looks like Cleveland is running away with that one.
Yeah, I think I'm going to need to cash out for like 20 cents on the dollar if possible. If the betting house is open. I don't think that's possible, but yeah, we got anything else for this week? What do we got? What do you got left? Football pod coming up soon. College football preview soon.
Yeah, probably like a month and a half, I would say.
There you go.
It's around the corner. 4th of July week, so I hope everyone has a good 4th. Enjoys the hopefully time off from work and does something fun. Be safe, obviously, but always a fun week. Spend time with friends, family, all that stuff. Cook out, enjoy the day. It's always a fun summer holiday. One of my favorite holidays, and that's what I got going on this week. Stay tuned, like we said, for our June awards coming tomorrow morning. And that's all I got, really.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Be safe, 4th of July. Make sure you are safe outside in the waters. Be safe if whatever you do, fireworks. Just try to be risk adverse. Don't do something you wouldn't do.
Don't do something you wouldn't do. That is exquisite. And I think we can end on that note. Thank you all for listening, and we'll catch you guys next week. Peace out.